Don't get mad at me. I'm just asking questions. When did illegal aliens become the top priority of the United States of America? That's my question. My first question. My second question is, when the fuck did black people start caring whether or not illegal aliens got deported back to their own country? Because I've been around for a while now. I ain't never heard that shit even one day in my entire life up until very, very, very recently. Right? All of a sudden, we got the fake Black Panthers out here talking about they're going to protect illegals from ICE. My question is, you talking about, ICE is out here wearing masks and terrorizing the people. Where the fuck was y'all at when niggas was out here wearing masks and terrorizing the community and the murder rate was going sky high, right? And women was getting carjacked at the gas station left and right. We seen mothers chasing the goddamn car down because the baby's still in the back seat. When public transportation went to shit, right? And the people just trying to get to work and get to school feel less and less safe on public transportation because motherfuckers is shooting guns and shooting dope right on the fucking bus. Where the fuck was y'all at then? Don't come to me with this Black Panther, pro-black shit about no illegal aliens and y'all wasn't around when the community was going through shit. The community's still going through shit and y'all wasn't nowhere around. All of a sudden, illegal aliens are threatened to be deported as they fucking should, and y'all outside fake ass bullshit Black Panthers. This fucking light-skinned nigga running around and he from Cali, he ain't from Philly. Yo, man, I'm gonna just say this, and I don't mean no harm, but we are the most easily manipulated people on the face of the goddamn planet. Don't fall for this shit, man. Don't go fucking with no federal agents. Don't go worry about no illegals. Don't be trying to fight ICE because it ain't your fucking problem, man. Raise your kids, get your money, build your credit, get your situation right. You in the land of opportunity. They want to be here. You was born here. You know what I'm saying? You have the opportunity. Don't let these people gas you up and tell you you a victim and you ain't got access. Get the fuck out here and do something for yourself. Don't worry about no motherfucking illegal aliens, man. That's they fucking problem. And I hope they all get fucking sent back to where they came from because I'm worrying about me and mine. Black, white, purple, or green. I care about Americans. Fuck anybody else.
What do you say about that? It's all coming to a head. It's all coming to a head. I'm J.J. Carrell. Welcome to the J.J. Carrell Show. Black America's waking up. They're realizing they have absolutely been replaced. Title of my show, Black America is being replaced. Black America is being erased, if we're really being honest. We're really being honest. They are being replaced. What does the numbers look like? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to try to get this as big as I can for you. I'm going to read it to you. Asians, mother single race. How many births were there? Let's just go with 2024, 187,000. Whites, one for 2024, 1,497,000. Blacks, 2024, 393,000. 2025, this is provisional, meaning they don't have all the data, but they believe it's close. 379,340. The grand total for those 3 years between Asians, blacks, and whites in America, these are American citizens, 6,227,000 and change. In less than 1 year, all those births for 3 years were allowed into the border in 1 year. 1 year. 30 million people were allowed into America in 4 years. If we take just the data that is a lie from Joe Biden, Mayorkas, and his cabal, they admitted to 12 million people being arrested and released by the United States Border Patrol. They admit to another 3 million being flown in illegally through all kinds of apparatuses that you can't even, I don't have time to go through it, but the federal government was FOIA'd and admitted that they flew in illegal aliens to our countries, 15 million. They admit to another 3 million of getaways, 18 million. That's 4.2 million a year. I'm telling you, the number is grotesquely a lie. Donald Trump has actually come out and said the number that they now know is 25 million. I'm telling you, they're 5 million off. Even if we just take Donald Trump's 25 million, we're at 6.25 million a year. The births for 3 years, 2023, 2024, and 2025, of 6.227 is less than what was allowed in under Joe Biden in 1 year. Per Donald Trump. Per me, it was about 7.5 million people a year, minimum. Do you understand what has happened to our country? There are over 50 million illegal aliens in America right now. We are seeing a demographic time bomb exploding in real time and destroying the demographics of the United States of America. And I want to specifically talk about Black Americans, because Black Americans do not even understand the fact that they are not the number one minority in America now. Hispanics are. Hispanics will double them within probably about 30 years, 25 years, will double them. Why do you think this mass importation of illegal immigrants was perpetrated by the Democrats at the extent that it was for 4 years under Biden? Because they began to lose the grip of the Black population, and they knew the Hispanic population was growing immensely, and they figured, I'll bring in more of their compadres, their paisanos into America, and they will corral that illegal alien vote, and they will no longer need the Black vote. Sure, they'll get millions and millions of Black votes because they own them. They own the Black American vote like a block of slaves. The truth. You don't think that's the truth? Have you listened to how the Democrats talk about Blacks? How the Blacks are so stupid that they can't get an ID to vote. They don't know how to use a computer, per the governor of New York. All the politicians on the Democrat side say that Blacks are too stupid to understand how to use a computer, how to go to the DMV and get an ID. They're too dumb. They don't understand it. Black Americans, you are being replaced. And I'm not going to use my data. I'm not going to use my voice to say this. I want you to see it yourself. Let me bring this up. It's damning when you begin to look at the data and the numbers and you begin to understand what is transpiring in today. Let me just play this short clip, 48 seconds.
Gentrification is when wealthy, affluent people begin to populate a neighborhood that is poor or working class. And oftentimes, Black communities are hit the hardest by gentrification.
If you look at the census data from 2010 to 2020, Black people decreased in population size and share. The white population has increased, the Hispanic population has increased, the Asian population has increased. Black people are the ones that are being removed.
That's the truth. That's just Boston. That's Boston with your mayor, Wu, that will not allow illegal aliens to be removed. But they'll remove Blacks. Listen to this data. Black births in the U.S. have now dropped 7% in 2 years. And hold on. As bad as that is, Black births since 2019 have dropped 17%. 17%. Well, why is that? Are blacks not having children? Or is it a combination of massive black on black crime, murders, and the unforgivable Margaret Sanger and the left and Planned Parenthood and the scourge of black abortions? I'm going to show you a video of Cayenne West, or Ye, whatever the hell. I don't even care. But he's going to speak some truth here. He's going to tell you in 50 years there have been over 22.5 million black children aborted. Let me say that again. In 50 years, from Planned Parenthood, the demon left, and they are demonic. Let's just not even pull punches, okay? You come to my show because you're listening to me that I have no fear and I have no filter, and I'm just going to tell it straight to you because we're here because we've layered filter after filter after filter and scared people from just speaking the truth. You don't have to like what Cayenne West or J.J. Carrell says, or it doesn't matter. The facts stand alone. This is like when I went and testified in front of Congress and they're lambasting me. And I'm just like, you don't have to like me. You want to call me a white supremacist? You want to call me a Nazi and blah, whatever the hell you want to call me. What changes what I said? What have I said that is factually not true? It's like Tim Ballard of the fame of Sound of Freedom. Excuse me. I've met Tim Ballard. Incredible man. Incredible journey to where what he has done and put the spotlight on child sex trafficking. And what do? What do? They attack the pedophilia, the child sex trafficking, all of that crap that goes on in the world and in America? No. They don't have a discussion on it. What do? They attack him. Well, he's a Mormon and he cheats on his wife and he does. I don't know if any of that's true. And who cares? Why did they attack him? Why did they make all these salacious comments on him? And they didn't attack the message because the message can't be attacked because it's true. So you attack the messenger. And like I say, when people say, well, JG, do you think that Tim Ballard is a good guy? You know, my response is, number one, I have met him. Yes, he's a good guy, but push that aside. Who cares? What is it about what he said that is factually untrue? Same thing with West that I'm going to show you. What do you not like about him? Do you not like his Hitler song? Do you not like that he has his wife parade around naked? I think it's mentally illness, but I don't really care. What he's saying is absolutely 100% true. 22.5 million babies, and I think it's more than that, in 50 years, black children have been erased. Erased. And everyone in the black community is like, well, I don't understand why our population's decreasing. Really? Are you serious? Number one, you're killing each other at immense rate, black on black. So you're killing all of your black men are being murdered and slaughtered. And then you're killing all of your babies. Tell me in the black community, which is very, very, I don't want to say religious, because I think religion is a curse. They are very godly. They believe in God wholeheartedly. They believe in Jesus. They believe in God. That it's indisputable amongst the black race. That's why when we talk about Americans, we're talking about black and white Americans that share the same God. Are the murders and the killings and all of the insanity that's happening in the black race right now, that everyone acts as if it's always been that way? That's a lie. It has not always been this way. When you go back into the 1900s and you begin to look at black test scores compared to whites, they're equal, sometimes better. You had black entrepreneurship skyrocketing. You had intact families that rival or even went beyond white families. You didn't have baby mamas and baby daddies and a woman having children out of wedlock. by 10 different men and then celebrated. It was shamed. The Black family was a strong unit. And then the 60s came. And then the 70s. And then the government took over the Black man's role in his family and became the breadwinner of Blacks, encouraged out of wedlock births. The more babies you had, the more government welfare. Well, of course, let's just have as many as we can. Do you think that we're living in a time in American history where Blacks are decreasing in population, Blacks are going to jail, Blacks are not even proficient in any level in academia, in elementary and high school? None, not even close. Poverty is rampant. Fatherlessness is rampant. Drug use, incarceration, everything you can imagine is rampant in the community. Do you think that happened overnight? Do you think it's always been this way? Do you think when Blacks came over as slaves and then got their freedom, they behaved in this fashion? No. Do you think it's an accident? No. No. Do you think it's an accident that Margaret Sanger, who called Blacks weeds and undesirables, gave the first Margaret Sanger Award, went to Martin Luther King? All the leftists said the best way to ensnare and to manipulate Blacks is through their pastors. Let's listen to West and see what he has to say.
That deal with the Black genocide that is abortion. And it's happening every day. And right now, God has given me the information, and he ain't gave me no other information other than this information. Right. And we have this right now. So that means he wants me to say this now. In 50 years, there's been 22 million, over 22,500,000 Black people aborted strategically and on purpose. Planned Parenthood was set up and placed in minority communities to kill Black people. Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was an avowed racist whose goal was to reduce the Black population in America, and she succeeded. 80% of abortion clinics in America are in minority neighborhoods. Over 22,500,000 Black babies have been aborted in 50 years. Over 1,000 Black babies are aborted every day. So that means we are.
That cannot go just not commented on. 1,000 babies a day, Black babies, are aborted. In another way, 1,000 Black children are murdered every single day in America. With 80% of Planned Parenthood death machines are placed in Black communities. Oh, do you think that's a coincidence?
We are inside of it as we speak.
This is genocide. So wait,
we are inside of genocide
so
as we speak.
What about the people that are going to argue and say, but Kanye doesn't have the right to speak on that because he's not a woman?
You need both opinions.
Right.
You need the male and the female opinion, and also it's both people's child. I got one other statistic. Abortion is the #1 killer of Black lives in the United States, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Mm-hmm. Abortion kills more Black people than HIV, homicide, diabetes, accidents, cancer, and heart disease. Watch this one. Combined.
I want you to listen to that again. I want you to listen to that again because this is unbelievable.
Homicide, diabetes, accidents, cancer, and heart disease. Watch this one. Combined.
All of those ailments, all of those tragedies combined don't equal the amount of babies that are murdered in the Black community. It's a genocide. It's a genocide. And we all just sit here and we act as if, screw it. Screw it. Read this one. Black abortions by the numbers. Okay? This kind of goes right in line with what Mr. West said. More crime, more than crime, more than accidents, more than cancer, heart disease, and AIDS. Abortion has taken more Black lives than every other cause of death combined since 1973. In the United States, the abortion rate for Black women is 3 times that of a white woman, on average more than 900. And Mr. West said it was 1,000. So we're splitting hairs here. Black babies are aborted every single day in our country. Every single day in our country. Who's spearheading this? Who's spearheading it? Well, that'd be the Democrat Party. Do you think it's an accident that the party of slavery were the Democrats? Jim Crow, Democrats, Civil Rights, Democrats, Civil Rights Act was passed by the Republicans, fought by the Democrats. There's a lot of argument on the good and bad of civil rights, but every single time there's opposition to blacks, who is in the center of it? The Democrats. And then they become the masters. They become the party of the blacks, and they enslave them economically, intellectually, spiritually, drugs. Do I believe in 100% ownership of your life? Absolutely. So I don't want to hear any crap about, the man's keeping me down and this and that. No, you're keeping yourself down. But just like I tell my son, your father has complete ownership of his life. Good, bad, or indifferent. However, I am acknowledging that there are players outside of my purview, outside of my control, that have a direct impact on my life. Doesn't mean that I ignore that or accept it, but I have to have ownership of my life in spite of all the things that are out of my control. The Black community has fallen to a virus of victimhood. Not all, but a lot. But damn it, you can look at a lot that's going on and you can question, how in the hell did we get to this point? And this is one of the reasons why when I talk about this topic or other topics like this, I use the people in that community to tell the story. No one likes to be told about their group of people by someone from the outside. I don't really care. You want to talk about white people and the problems with the white women? And I'll do an episode on this coming in the later week. Is the Karens? I can see an absolute direct line between the number of abortions white middle-aged to 30-year-old white women have, the enormous amounts of narcotics they take for emotional problems, touched and coupled with abortions, and the inability to match with men and get married. There's a direct correlation to that and their mental illness now, where they're screaming at law enforcement officers trying to run them over. They're mentally ill. White women in America have a mental illness epidemic. We can have that discussion. If a Black woman wants to talk about it, or they want to talk, some Baptist preacher wants to talk about the ills and sins of Catholicism, I'm all for it. I want the truth, and I want to root out all kinds of bad shit. I want you to listen to this Black man. He's obviously from the South, where I grew up. I want to say Alabama by his accent. And I think the things that he's going to talk about, we'll just play this for a little while. Let's listen to what he has to say about the horrific crime by 4 Black males and 4 Black females. The Black on Black crime. And it goes unnoticed. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to report it. Why? Here's something to all the Black Americans that are watching this, or they will see this on a clip. Why is there no reporting on Black crime? Why is there no protest on Black crime? Here is the very hard truth, and it's going to be hard to hear. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I've lived this my whole entire life. I grew up in New Orleans, outside of New Orleans. In the 80s, it was the murder capital of the United States of America. And all of it was happening in the ghettos in New Orleans. And nobody gave two shits. Why? Because they're killing each other. That was the mentality. Washington, D.C., murder capital of America forever. New York City, Chicago, they're killing. Nobody cares. No one cares. As long as you don't go in the suburbs and kill whites and Hispanics and Asians, nobody gives a rip. You can go and kill yourself all you want. That's the mentality in the United States of America. How did we get to this point where nobody cares? Man, that's like, I need to do a series on that on TV. But the replacement of blacks in America is being attacked on all fronts: abortion, crime, drugs, illegal aliens. You are becoming you, the Black Americans. And I've had these discussions with gang members, pastors, friends, professionals that are Black. We have these discussions, and they're hard to have, man. And they're exasperated because part of they're exasperated, they're frustrated. They don't believe that they're being represented. The ghetto trash doesn't represent them. The Black Caucus doesn't represent them. They're trying to make their way in life. It's already hard enough to make your way, but they have all these other stigmas attached to them. But this man's going to talk about 4 Black males and 4 Black females kill another Black young girl, viciously attack her and kill her. And you don't hear anything about it. You don't hear anything about it because nobody cares. They just don't care. And I want you to hear that because I need you to understand Black Americans are becoming more and more and more insignificant in American life. We've imported your replacements. I'm screaming here for white and Black America. Who else is? There are a few other guys that are actually talking out loud. They're talking more about white, the erasure of whiteness, which I'm absolutely 100% believe that's happening. But there's a stagnation and a death of a Black culture too that nobody wants to talk about. I'm going to talk about it. Let's listen to this man.
Videos, really, I don't do any, but I just want everybody, I want the whole country to hear about this story because there's so many stories like this and they go unnoticed. Just recently out of Birmingham, Alabama, there's a young female Black, beautiful young female Black. Her name is Mahogany Jackson. And you have these 7 other Black people that befriended this young girl, and they pretended to be her friend. In some kind of way, the girl got herself mixed up with these thugs. And there was 4 male Blacks and 4 female Blacks. They kidnapped this young girl. They beat this young girl. They stomped this young girl. They kicked her. They dragged her. They choked her. And they brutally raped this young girl at gunpoint. The young girl screamed for her life. She pleaded with them, but they showed no mercy. They tortured this young girl and they took her life. The sad part about it is I don't see anybody upset about it. There's no media coverage, except in Birmingham. They had it on the news, of course. There's no Black Lives Matter coming out marching, saying that they want justice and say her name. Where's the women advocate groups at? They're saying that they want justice for a female. Where are the strong men at? They're standing up and protest, saying, hey, let's protect our females. But if it had been a white man and did it to one black male, oh my God, it would have been all across the country. Wrong is wrong and right is right. You can't make wrong be right. But just because they're black, I guess, oh, yeah, just to make an excuse for them. Well, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all, whatsoever. Something needs to be done in this country. The laws are twisted. The laws are backwards. And I guarantee you, these people that did this to her are repeat offenders. And they just got a slap on the wrist.
If there's going to be a change in America, and black America, is going to be men like this. Just like I say, you want to change America, the white men have white Christian man has basically, and black Christian men just walked away from insanity. See, I would say that man right there and myself have immense amount in common. Incredible amounts in common. There's a black man named Tyrone Mohammed. He's running for Senate in in Illinois. Interviewed him for my documentary. Spent 21 years, in state prison for murder. Came and changed his life. Did his time. Killed another gang member. And he and I sat there and we had an interview for about 2 hours. And we both came at the end of the interview and said, hey, here I am, 24 years in the United States Border Patrol and federal law enforcement. And you are spent about exactly the same time in almost the exact same time frame in prison, locked down. And you and I share, I would say, about 90% agreement. The other 10%, we may have a disagreement, but we have an acknowledgement of each other's beliefs and stance. Meaning I can see your point. I don't agree with it, but I understand where you're coming from and how you came to that point. And he did the same to me. We are more the same than anyone realizes. And at the same time, because of the balkanization of America, we are so different. America is absolutely at its wit's end. We are tired, and when you begin to listen and watch Black Americans speak on this, they is like this gentleman I just played. He is exhausted and frustrated and angry as I am. America is just for Americans. Legal immigrants that come over and want to be American, they're welcome. But to erase the Black community in the fashion that we're doing is evil. To say it's wrong would be the understatement of the century. It is simply evil. And when you listen to this man, if you go back and you just stop this, if you're streaming and stop it and go back and listen to him, you can hear the exasperation. You could hear the just the contempt and the almost it is just exasperation. He's exasperated trying to understand how in God's name we came to this place where 8 Black teenagers and young adults will kill another Black woman, young girl. And he's like, you could see it in his face. That could never cross his mind to behave that way. There needs to be a strong religious revival. And I'm not talking religion in the form of we need a denomination. There just needs to be a spiritual revival in America, a reset. I don't know how we're going to get there. Before I bring my guest in, I want to talk about Pet Club 24/7, petclub247.com, truthwithjj247.com. I've talked about this several times because it's part of my life, unfortunately. I have COVID racked in my lungs. You can feel it. I feel heavy sometimes. Sometimes I can sit and run. I can do Peloton. I can do all kinds of workout with weights, never get exhausted, never get breathe. For whatever reason, whenever I go up and down steps, it feels like I'm 900 years old and I can't breathe. And all my doctors, everyone says that's COVID. It's destroys your lungs. And then I took remdesivir 2 times that I know, maybe a third time they slipped it in. And one time is a 50+% mortality rate. 2 times, I don't even know how I'm here. So I take Pet Club 24/7 because it helps my immune system and my gut. It starts to clean me out. It supercharges my immune system, and I need it. And Pet Club 24/7 is for your pets too. So you're not giving your pets plastic food, plastic treats. And they have it, they have it in balm. What it is a mushroom from Japan. They've been able to extract all of the greatness from there. We have a husband and wife team, Kristen and Kurt, that are Christian family, Christian owned, and they believe, this is strange, I know, that God created the world to work within itself. We didn't need Pfizer when he created. On the 7th day, God didn't say, I'm resting today, and then maybe on tomorrow I will create Moderna and Pfizer. No, he said, hey, I've done everything. Everything you need is here. And they found it, and they put it in a balm form, like a lotion for humans, a capsule form for humans, and dog treats for your pets to help their immune system. Go to Pet Club 24/7, truthwithjj247.com. My friend Chris from SAT123 is here. Chris, how are you doing, my friend?
Another crazy week, mate. You'll be glad to hear that I'm freezing over here in Denver. It's 1 or 2 degrees or something.
Let me tell you something, my friend. I was watching the football game, and I was at the very beginning of the football game. I was like, oh, look at that. It looks so nice, and it's warm, and the sun's out. I was like, I hate Chris, right? Because I was stuck in snow and sleet, and all of a sudden, it was the most wild thing I ever saw. Within minutes, Chris, there was like a blizzard coming through. Is it just blanket Colorado now in Denver?
I mean, it's certainly all over Denver, and yeah, it's been pretty chilly. So I know that gets you excited. No freeze for me, mate.
Anything that makes you cold and freezing, I'm happy. I'm all over it. I'm trying to find. I want to show this, and because you and I, Chris, we talk about this every time we're on the show. We talk about man-made catastrophes. We talk about war. We talk about cyber attacks. And one thing that you and I talk about is this is going to happen. The winter storms, floods, tornadoes, it's going to happen. And what do? Are you prepared? And this winter storm, which was amazing, it kind of went under you and kind of almost went under me and killed Florida, Texas, into California, and then another round came in to Colorado, Kansas, and just dumped. And I think that as of yesterday, there was like 500,000 people without power. I mean, it was significant. So I just want to show my audience, just so they can see this. I want to see if I can pull this up, if it'll allow me. Excuse me 1 second, Chris. It's a video that I want to show. But it just shows how amazing Mother Nature is. And let me just see if I can pull it on the side. But I watched that game yesterday, and I was just like, holy smokes. I can't believe what it did to, and it changed the game, right? It changed the game. So
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull this up, if it'll allow me to do it. If not, I'm going to just go solo, pull you back on in a second, okay? Right. Let me do this. All right, let's see if I'll show it. Oh, maybe not. It's not. Maybe not going to let me show it. But let me just try one more second as I pull this up. There it is. There we go. Here we go. Sorry for the technical difficulties. It's just 42 seconds of what we're experiencing now. even though no sound, you get the feeling that it's desperate. It's just hardly anybody's even moving. I mean, that's frightening on its own. What like, it's everywhere. It's destroyed. All of our infrastructure is being crippled. Everyone is, not everyone, but a significant percentage of the American public has been out of power for over 24 hours, Chris. What is it that you see that SAT 123 could allow or could give us to be able to fight these 24, 48 hours or longer?
Well, I mean, the heartbreaking thing is to hear about people dying of cold, because the power's out, they got no heating. And look, in some of these places, it gets down to -20, -30, or even worse. And you really just can't survive very long in those kind of temperatures. God forbid you're outside, but even inside, it's like these are life-threatening temperatures. And so, it is so important, mate. We've talked about this time and again. You cannot rely on the power grid anymore. It is subject to so many things, not just the weather, but cyber attacks, terror attacks. It is not in the state it needs to be. And if it goes down, it can kill you. So you need to be able to have power. And the way to generate that is with solar-powered portable generators. We have them portable generators starting from just a couple of $100 all the way up to a few thousand that can keep the heat on, the lights on, the fridge, the TV, everything in your house, without you having to refuel or go to the gas station. Because look, a lot of people they won't have that choice. They can't get out and go to the gas station. If they can get there, there may not be any propane or diesel or anything else. But solar powered generators, day after day, will be able to recharge, and again, up to the ability of powering your entire house and every life-saving essential utility that you have in it. But without that, look, a lot of people have diesel generators, propane generators. That's fine as long as you can restock. But full well what happens, when these disasters really hit. The supply chain breaks down. That means gas stations out of gas, out of propane, out of diesel, and you're out of luck. And by the way, everyone else is looking for the same thing. So even if you can find it, God only knows what you're going to have to pay for it. But solar power can regenerate time and time again. And we're more and more used to it with these small things like the cameras around our house that are live broadcasting all our pictures back to Beijing. Apart from that, a lot of them come with the solar panels, and this technology has come a long, long way. It works. I mean, the cameras around my house are all solar powered, because it's kind of a big property. And, this every single day, it's recharged by the sun. They're not plugged into anything else. And the same thing works on these generators. We've got these incredible solar panels that fold out. Everything is lightweight and portable. You can move it around. So you can also take these units hiking, hunting, fishing, camping, whatever you're doing in the wilderness, and have full power out there. But most importantly, when disaster strikes at home, when the grid goes down, and look, 24 hours is enough to kill you without heat. Let alone 48 or longer. And, it's, I tell you, I've been sounding this alarm, as have you, for a long time now. There's a lot of people out there trying to take down this country, trying to take out our utilities, and they have the ability to do it. They've done it, as we've seen many times. And at some point, they might do that for an extended period. And so we need to be prepared for that. The second thing, mate, of course, is the satellite phones. You need to have communication, as we've talked about many times. Without communication, you could literally also be dead in the water. If you break down, if you're out in your car in this weather and you break down, you don't have long before you've got to get help. The temperatures, again, especially at night, absolutely terrifying and certainly life-threatening. So a sat phone can get you a connection anytime, anywhere, doesn't matter, power grid's on, off, doesn't matter. No matter where you are, it doesn't matter if you're near a cell tower or not, the sat phone's going to work. And of course, they're always, as always, free with activation at sat123.com, mate.
Well, when I was watching that video, I see the truck pull aside, but I see vehicles sliding on on the side of the shoulder, and they're stuck. Like they have PSAs here in Kansas and Missouri. If you get stuck, stay in your car, right? And I'm thinking there's parts of Kansas and Missouri that are absolutely desolate. You go to the Dakotas, absolutely desolate. Wyoming, you go to Alabama, you go down the south, everyone thinks, there's millions and millions of people. No, there's stretches where there's no one there. The cell towers go down, they freeze, all the power's out, and you're stuck. And it's 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. There's no one roaming around. Midnight, 2 o'clock, no one's roaming around. I think the greatest thing that you need is the connectability to be able to call 911. Here's where I am, drop a pin, tell you the mile marker you're at, and somebody can save you. Because if you're going to stay there all night long, good luck, my friend. Good luck, because it is beyond freezing. It will literally kill you within 24 hours.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And of course, law enforcement emergency services are stretched very, very thin right now. And when the weather gets bad like this, they got all kinds of problems going on. So they're not going to be out roaming around just looking to see if there are people who need help. They're busy, as you know. So you need to be able to reach out. A satellite phone does that for you, free with activation. Look, I mean, again, look, you have everyone watching probably has extra food, ammunition, water, and so on, and that's great. But without connectivity, it's a whole different kettle of fish. So, you know, it's always the number one recommendation that we have.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you very much. From sat123.com/JJ. Just go on the website and look. Chris, I hope and pray that you're safe, but I hope you get dumped on. I want all that snow from Kansas. You know, isn't it amazing, Chris, how beautiful the snow is? Like when I wake up in the morning, somehow the snow makes everything quiet. Like it's silent. But then, dude, then it's falling off your car in my garage and it's filthy mud and then it's all over your shoes. It's miserable. It's beautiful for a while, but then it just becomes miserable.
Yeah, and the tree branches start snapping.
Oh, yeah, that's great, isn't it? It's amazing. There you go. It's great. So as long as we don't get it, Chris, and you guys get it, it was shocking to watch that Denver turn that. That was wild to see that. So stay safe and stay warm, my friend. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week, Chris.
Thanks, man.
All right. Chris from sat123.com, sat123.com/JG. Chris is, you know what? There's days where I'm just like, I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. It just, sometimes it's heavy and it's dark, but it has to be discussed. And then you hear his great accent and he's always cheerful and he's just a good dude. So I love talking to him because he picks me up. It's like talking to Kim Yater. She's filled with hope. Incredible. We want patriots like that. Naturalized a lapper here visiting. I think he's a U.S. citizen. No, he is a U.S. citizen from the UK. He naturalized. We want that. We want that times 1 million, 10 million. Sat123.com/JJ, sat123.com/JJ. I'm going to end the show. I'm going to show you this guy that I really, really like. Really like. I'm going to pull him up. Give me 1 second. His name is Royce White. I'm going to pull him up here so you see him. I really like this guy. Why do I like this guy? He's running for Senate in Minnesota. And he's a truth teller. And we need this more than ever. Let's listen to him as we close out the show.
Power to the people. Are you kidding me? Power to the people. While President Trump is in Davos, Switzerland, delivering the most significant blow to the global economic system in my entire lifetime, and people are in the streets of Minneapolis yelling power to the people, protesting on behalf of the same globalist elites that are crushing the working class of this country, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. But you aren't ashamed of yourself. A, you don't know enough to be ashamed of yourself, or B, you actually believe in the ideology, and C, worst of all, and this is the worst of all, you don't really hate corruption. You don't really hate tyranny or elitism. You hate that you can't get a taste of it for yourself. And that's what you see out there. That's why the coordination of this political activism is, let's have a nobody has to go to work day here in Minneapolis. Everybody gets the day off because it's Friday after, it's Friday anyway. We'll just take a long weekend. There's going to be a winter storm. We can afford to lose a day of business to help manufacture the consent that we want the system to change. You don't want the system to change. You are the system. You wish you could get a taste of the corruption and the tyranny and the elitism that the globalists there in Davos have now, but although you've played the role of their puppet slaves, they'll never let you into their elite club. And that makes you frustrated. And that's what you're showing out in the streets. You're trying to remind those globalist elites who you support and vote for, you're trying to remind them that you, in strength and number, do have the power to storm the ivory tower and drag them from the ivory tower and kill them if need be. But every single time you vote for one of these corporate-backed Democrats, you just show that the whole thing is fake, theatrical. You're watching The Royce White Show. We'll be right back in a moment. Stay tuned.
What he just said is 100% true. It's time that we take back our country. It's time that we stop standing by and acting as if someone else is going to take care of it. We have to take care of it. The American public has to take care of it. That's white, black, Hispanic, everyone that's American. We need to fight for our country, or we can just lay down and lose it.